Go Island is brought to you by German Auto Import Network.
What are the hot topics in the city of Nanaimo? Find out more on today's Go Island. Coming up, how local Filipinos are coping in the aftermath of Typhoon Haiyan, auctioning your treasures and visiting a tree farm. Hi, I'm Annette Lucas. You're watching Go Island. Today it is Conversation with the Mayor, Mayor John Ruttan. What are the hot topics around town? But first, Kelly Robinson had a chance to meet with two local Filipinos whose families are still there coping with that tragedy, Typhoon Haiyan. We find out how they want to help and how you can help out too. There is a run walk for water, food and shelter for victims of Typhoon Haiyan being held at Westwood Lake on Saturday, December 7th. It is Go Island Tuesday. We are in conversation with the Mayor, John Ruttan, following up what happened at Council last night. And the second E-Town Hall meeting was about the proposed Island Ferry deal that they're wanting partnership with the city. Tell me what happened with that.
Well, it was a good opportunity for them to explain to the public and certainly to the city as well what their plans are moving forward. It's a very exciting proposal. We did have a little bit of concern that it was short notice. We put this whole thing together in 8 or 9 days, and I hope it didn't show that. But no, I was very pleased with the result, and I think the public had a chance to input their ideas, ask questions of it. We had Dr. Stuart Vinnells, and we also had two other members from the Island Ferries there to answer questions. So it was a good opportunity for everyone.
Okay, some of the questions, I did watch the town hall meeting last night, the council meeting, and some of the concerns I heard coming up were there was questions about whether or not there would be bicycles allowed, but I think the most important one is going to be the question of dollars and how much the city is prepared to give up for this.
Well, the important thing that I think, and David Marshall actually explained it, one of the proponents as well, that the city isn't really advancing money per se. There isn't any money that we're going to be giving to them. What it will be is a draw against monies that they will pay to the city. And so, because the city owns the site, the GAD property there at Wilcox, and will be leasing or renting the property to them, we will forego some of the payments if necessary, should they not meet a given threshold. But by and large, we do believe that this will be a very successful project. I don't think, while this agreement is in place for 5 years, I don't think this will be a long-term arrangement, and I'd like to think they're going to be financially viable in the very near future.
All right, I think people want to know more information about it. It's not a done deal just yet, John. There's probably still more to come about this over the coming months.
Well, that's true. The last little piece, of course, is trying to get the remaining funding in place. And I think they're working hard to that end. And my understanding is they feel that they're very close to it again. I'd like to see this service start as early as next spring. And it'll be a wonderful opportunity for not only Vancouver and Nanaimo, but the Lower Mainland as well, because the ferry runs both ways.
All right. I guess we'll find out more about what happened at last night's council meeting. More on Go Island later this morning. Still to come, going to an auction, everything you want to know about your favorite clippers, and where do those Christmas trees come from, all on today's Go Island.
Did you know that this year we celebrated the 159th anniversary of the arrival of the first settlers from England on the Princess Royal, the ship you see behind me? Next year is the 160th, and the descendants of the families that came over on that ship still come back to Nanaimo every year on November 27th. Hope to see you next year to celebrate with us.
Ever have items around the house and you're thinking, hey, I could make a few dollars? Well, Adrena from the Comox Valley finds out more about Vancouver Island Auction House. Might be able to pick up some hints from her. It is Conversation with the Mayor today on Go Island, and we're finding out some of the highlights from the council meeting last night and an hour and 15-minute discussion for an item that really wasn't even on the agenda till last minute about the proposed WTE, the waste to transfer energy facility that's being proposed here. Were you surprised how long that discussion was, John?
Well, partly, but the waste to energy project is something that people are very passionate about. There's very little gray. They either love it or they hate it, one or the other. And we saw proponents from both positions there last night. It's a difficult one, and the motion eventually ended up by being delayed or postponed, and it's going to be heard again. I think they're now deciding to wait until Metro Vancouver makes a decision on it, and that's a position I supported as well. In fact, I think it was the motion to postpone was unanimous. Maybe one exception, if memory serves me right. But in any event, there's still a lot of questions that have to be asked, and the challenge is, do we really know that Nanaimo is one of the chosen areas? And I say chosen in respect that good or bad, we need to look at it from my standpoint, both options. I know that there's people that automatically have that position. It's Vancouver's garbage. We don't want it. It's their problem, and the solution should be theirs as well. And to a certain extent, that's right. But I think as well, though, there is the possibility of job creation, which is important in Nanaimo, tax base expansion, which is important as well. So let's wait and see, get some more information, and maybe make some tough decisions then.
I suppose that the proponent, they're not allowed to disclose too much information at this time also. What I noted, though, with that one question I have is in the proposal from George Anderson was to basically say no to bringing outside garbage in, but not exactly say no to an incinerator. Is that correct?
Well, that's my understanding. It was his motion again, but that's my understanding of it. The problem is it's the economies of scale. If you have a large incinerator rather, and you can burn a fair amount based on volume, I would think it'd be cost effective to do that. Can we build or should we build a small incinerator that's just capable of burning our own? Will that be efficient and cost effective? I don't know. And these are questions that we need to have answers for moving ahead.
All right. And I know that there will be lots more discussion on that in the months to come, I'm pretty sure of it. Now, finding out everything you wanted to know or maybe you didn't want to know about your favorite Clippers player, Dan Marshall takes a little chat with Spencer Hewson on today's Rapid Fire. The Clippers' next home game is this Saturday versus Chilliwack at the Frank Crane Arena. Looking for other things to do? Stay tuned for Get Up and Go. Speaking with Mayor John Ruttan, conversation with the mayor, following up on council. This didn't happen at council last night, but I think it's important and something that the people of the city might want to know more about is the restructuring, the major shakeup at City Hall.
Well, it is a major shakeup, and I think really we need to compliment our senior staff and the city manager in particular for this idea. There's been a lot of pressure to downsize, and certainly there is a little bit of room for reduction of staff at the highest level, and this is what we've made the decision to do, and it's difficult. There are a couple of packages that will involve buyouts, and this is not inexpensive. But in the long term, we're going to save in excess of $1 million a year going forward. And the other significant thing that I think people should be aware of is that the actual senior staff has been reduced by 10%. So that means, obviously, that we're trying to find efficiencies, trying to operate the city in a more businesslike and friendly manner when it comes to cost savings. So we're at it there, and I'm pleased with it, and I totally support the venture.
So that's about 7 different positions, senior management positions that I understand will be shifted or eliminated. But there was also restructuring of departments. Are you able to talk about one of the bigger ones?
Well, there are several different ones, and what we're doing is putting a lot more priority now on safety and communication. But certainly we see Safer Nanaimo has been a very successful program, and a lot of the issues dealing with poverty and people in need is going to get more profile than we've had previously. It's the social aspect, and it's one of the pillars of our business plan moving forward, and it's one that I personally support, and I think everyone on council does, and I think it's the right move. I'm very pleased with it.
And one more was Parks, Recreation, Culture. It'll be Parks, Recreation, and Environment, and there'll be a new culture and...
The culture and I believe it's the social aspect, but
that was it. Okay.
I forget that's how the phrase. They've got new names for it too, which is always a little challenging. But it's a very positive move, and I think we're trying to find more efficiencies, and I think this new plan will do that.
All right. Thank you very much, Mayor John Ruttan. Conversation with the mayor. Sam Numson takes a trip to a Kamloops tree farm in today's road trip. Well, it is Christmas pretty soon for a lot of people, and Santa is apparently in town. He arrived this last weekend. You can enjoy a cup of hot cocoa, candy canes, crafts, holiday movie, write a letter to Santa, all at Santa's Workshop, which is at the Nanaimo Museum. It's going to be open some extra hours to allow access to there from Commercial Street. So you can go there Friday 2 to 6. Santa will visit from 3 to 5. Saturday 11 to 5. Santa will be there again 12 to 4. And Sundays from 12 to 4. And Santa will be there also from 1 to 3. That's all at the Nanaimo Museum for Santa's Workshop. You've been watching Go Island.
Go Island is brought to you by German Auto Import Network. Clothing supplied by Catwalk Fashions. Kate's Hair and Aesthetics provided by Matteo Salon.